Welcome to the follow-up or the Phase 2 video everyone about Battlefield 6 beta. If I was praising Phase 1 for actually being very promising, although it had some issues here left and right, Phase 2 is a complete disappointment and honestly has grown very big concerns about the future of Battlefield 6. Yep, the content which I've played on this one was very questionable, starting from netcode issues to balancing remaining the same, and more or less a new map with a new rush game mode, plus some tweaks when it comes to game modes. This everyone is a follow-up for the Phase 2 of Battlefield 6 Open Beta, and let's have a deep dive once again and see how they are going to change things going forward. Hello everyone, Chris back again with you in Gaming Zone. Welcome to the Phase 2 of Battlefield 6 Open Beta coverage, this time basically talking about the new content which has been introduced with the updated build for the Open Beta. It's highly important to notice everyone that in the first video, which is this one right here, I'll be covering the maps, armament, vehicles and so on as a standalone basis. It's highly important for you to watch this one to know the whole context for this second part which I'm recording today. So yeah, Phase 2. Honestly, it was very disappointing. Phase 1 for some reason it was actually much stable and ran better than Phase 2. A lot of netcode issues started appearing left and right. For some reason now when you die you are being teleported left and right. Weapons haven't been nerfed, haven't been tweaked and fixed. Only Rush game mode did receive some extra patches here and there. And for some reason you also lost the DLSS as a way to temporarily upscale the game, which is very weird. I mean, in the first beta it worked just fine, but in the second build it just vanished out of existence. So yeah, overall second beta technical side is very weak. The gameplay hasn't changed at all, the optimization is still miserable, the CPUs are still on fire, the GPUs are still on fire, so it's not off to a good start. And this is where basically the differences between Phase 1 and Phase 2 come really. Phase 1 I believe it was actually much more stable and the matchmaking was also better. For some reason in Phase 2 it takes about maybe 4 to 5 minutes to actually find a match. And of course that is just by clicking the main menu thing, I mean choosing King of the Hill, Conquest and so on. It's very troublesome to see these kind of long queue times. I don't know why, but this second build kinda has a huge downgrade when it comes to both the queue times and also overall just the performance of the beta. I don't know why, but everything is just stuttery, now it has problems. The netcode started being worse for some reason, and overall the gameplays which I have seen in this one was actually weaker than beta 1, which is very concerning to say the least. And now let's talk about the new additions this Phase 2 of Battlefield 6 Open Beta has introduced us. And of course I'm talking about the big elephant in the room, which is called Empire State. To be honest with you, this map is pure trash. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, this map design is absolutely horrible and I have a miserable experience trying to play it. Doesn't matter which mode, both on Breakthrough, on Rush, Conquest, the map plays like absolute trash. Whoever designed this, again, has smoked crack or something. The way everything is just open in that map in Conquest, it gives you ability to basically attack an enemy from, I don't know, 7 angles at times. Objective Delta can't be spawn camped by the enemy team. Same with the Echo point, it's just insane to see this kind of stuff. So yeah, the map design of this one once again is very weak. I used to talk shit about Iberian Offensive, but this one I believe is even worse. I don't know how, but they somehow managed to make a Ziba tower but actually run and play much worse. I have no idea who designed this, but it gotta go back into the oven cause it's a terrible map. The map looks kinda cool, don't get me wrong, but gameplay wise it doesn't resemble at all to the things which have been shown in the reveal trailer. Honestly, it's very weak, this map has to have a lot of work. Cover needs to be added cause it's just a mess. Yeah, it's cool to blow up that bridge, I gotta give props where props are due. Again, sometimes campers can just snipe you from their base. It's ridiculous, this has to be fixed. So DICE, very terrible job on this one. Another concern I have with this beta once again everyone is the fact that they are now actively hiding the preset for actually choosing the class locked weapons. I've noticed this, that they actually kinda moved it to the last corner once they updated the Phase 1 build, but on this one they are straight up just hiding it very deep into the menu. You have to actually search it there to find it and actually play it. Another thing really is that you can't choose closed weapons on different modes. Yeah, you cannot choose locked weapons, it's only open. So they are forcing this actively down the throat that they are going to push for open weapons. So much so for having both closed and open weapons playlists basically enabled in the main menu. This raises very big concerns because, once again, I'm personally in favor of having actual closed weapons, so the balance is proper both for the sniper, both for the machine gun, assault rifles and so on. The iconic weapons, I'm going to call them like this, honestly don't give you shit when it comes to bonuses, except maybe for the recon class. So yeah, looks like they're actively fighting against closed weapons, so much so for being dedicated to having both of them enabled at the beta. About game modes, gotta say Rush is absolute trash. It's a complete downgrade, it's basically unplayable for me every single time because I believe this is a sort of SBMM. I kept on being put as an attacker, but the enemy team was straight up so powerful I could never push beyond the first sector. Or if I was a defender, I was violated within 10 minutes of the gameplay. It's truly horrible, I don't know why they did Rush in this kind of mode. In Battlefield 3 it used to play very well. In Battlefield 4 it had some issues here and there, but it was still playable. Of course afterwards it's just trash. And looks like with Battlefield 6 they are kinda trying to return to Battlefield 3, but this is not the way to do it. Yeah, it kinda reminds me of Battlefield 3, cause you know the sound effects and so on, but it plays like pure trash. It needs a lot of polishing before it goes through. Also I'd like to talk about King of the Hill mode. Honestly, these modes are trash. Domination and King of the Hill are just a nightmare with this TTK. The shotguns are still overpowered, they haven't been nerfed, and of course M4A1 is everywhere. So you are basically being molested by both shotguns and M4A1 in King of the Hill. Yeah, they are basically unplayable in the current state of this beta. I always lose at King of the Hill with 50 or 250, or vice versa, so for example we win with 250 tickets, but the enemy loses with like 50 tickets. It's just ridiculous, the TTK and overall weapon balance doesn't simply work with this beta, and it leads to just miserable matches in these close quarters modes. They need a very attentive polishing to it, a lot of balancing, cause they are not working. Straight up, I refuse to play them, and I only choose to play a bit of Breakthrough even though it's miserable, and my favorite mode, which is Conquest. Again, I'm going to enforce this, even though I talked this about in my previous video on the Phase 1 beta. Man, the optimization is absolutely horrible. I have to lower everything to lowest and to enable basically TAA so I can get 144 FPS on my 4090. I don't care that it's a middle of 2025 game running very good, I guess, on a GTX 1060, but it runs like trash on a 4090 and I got like a pretty beefy CPU from AMD. Like, come on boys, you have to optimize this cause it's just laughable. I try to play at medium settings, my stream just starts stuttering, everything started to lag. Sometimes the game just makes some crashes in the background, I had some crashes on the drivers, some software also crashed behind the scenes. What is going on, bro? I even just got a Windows error right now. I mean, my PC was having issues trying to play Battlefield 6, it was disconnecting like peripherals. See, I got like this mic right here. It was just disconnecting everything, so sometimes Battlefield 6 has some technical issues with my PC, I don't know why. Like, it's some weirdness going on. It's not working very well, the main menu is also bleeding, again, this beta, I'm sitting in the main menu, my GPU is at 50% utilization and it has 60 degrees on it. What the hell is going on? There has to be some optimization happening there, cause it's just ridiculous. I had to run the game at 1080p so I could stream it properly, and even then it still had some stutters. That was at lowest settings. It must be fixed cause it's very annoying. Well, with this stated everyone, I have very big concerns about the gameplay and I'm not sure now that they are going to fix this by October 10th. With this second phase, now we have netcode issues, I kept on dying behind walls. When I was killed on Empire State I got teleported left and right, I even have some footage with that, just being teleported left and right. I'm not sure how they are going to fix this, optimization is a mess, balancing is a mess. 3 maps out of 4 are trash, they are barely playable, it depends really on the mode of course. Empire State on Breakthrough is kinda playable, on others Liberation Peak is also miserable. Iberian Offensive, I must say I should have been less harsh on it. Now it's actually much better than whatever I played on Empire State. Very big concerns when it comes to gameplay, optimization is pretty terrible. When it comes to vehicles there are still tin cans. Not sure about the weapons, although they are saying they have fixed this for a Battlefield Labs build. You got 2 months to release this and it's very concerning. I'm also worried that they might delay this game once again, and if they delay it once again to November, because remember with Battlefield V and 2042, they did delay it until November. That will scream a very big red flag when it comes to Battlefield 6. They're already promising us that they fixed everything in Battlefield Labs builds, they're already testing out their gun balancing, apparently they're also working on weapons and so on. But we still have 7 maps left to see in that, because these are just 4 maps right now which we've played in the beta. They're not very good, and I'm afraid about the other maps which we're going to see. And yeah, I'm kinda concerned now, cause I didn't like Iberian Offensive, Liberation Peak was miserable, Empire State was trash, and only Cairo was really a really good experience in my eyes. So yeah, 1 map out of 3 from this beta was actually pretty good, everything else, yep, not very good. Gun balancing is tragic, vehicles are tragic, gadgets are overpowered, and of course the optimization is trash. So yeah, big concerns right here. And now here comes the ultimate decision, boys. As I've said, I was thinking with this beta as I was playing it if I'll be purchasing Battlefield 6 or not. Truth to be told, Phase 2 kinda disappointed me even more than Phase 1. I expected it to be actually less stable with the first beta, and the second beta to run much better. This time it's in reverse, the first beta was actually more stable than the second one, plus they started doing sneaky things by hiding closed weapons and just forcing open weapons everywhere. Yeah, it's already feeling like they are trying to pull off some weird moves. The open beta discouraged me from purchasing it, I'm going to be honest with you boys. I was willing to give it a chance, I gave it a chance, it played pretty decent, I did enjoy some of the gameplays, but Phase 2 kinda made me more miserable than the previous one. By the end I was kinda, I'm a bit bored, but now with Phase 2 I'm just severely disappointed with what I've seen. For now I'll be delaying my thoughts about purchasing Battlefield 6 until I see some Battlefield Labs gameplay, starting from my optimization by not melting my GPU, and of course weapons, the shotgun has to go. The shotgun is just miserable. Gunsling has to go, it has no place in Battlefield 6. We'll see how they did with the deployment beacon with Assault class. I was actually hoping they would introduce this in the beta, but looks like not. It's just an older build with some small patches here and there, and that is it. From this date they have about 2 months to fix everything and make actual release, and we haven't seen anything related to the campaign, just a couple of teasers here and there. And of course nothing about Battle Royale, so that's like 2/3 of the game still a mystery to us. One more thing which I'm really concerned about is the future content. For now they haven't released anything with how they are going to support the game, which maps they are going to do this. Is it going to be a single map per season just like 2042, the pathetic trash fire, or they are going to have 2 maps and so on. It's honestly interesting to see how they are going to support this game. For now all we know is basically we have a pro token which basically unlocks the battle pass for a game. Yeah, after this beta I have more concerns than actually being hyped for the game. And that is not good. Unlike 2042 I was closing my eyes to the issue, but with Battlefield 6, cause I've been burned by Battlefield V and 2042 respectively, I am very concerned. So we'll have to wait and see until I guess September, maybe start of October to see what's the full deal with Battlefield 6 for now. And that is it for this coverage of Battlefield 6 Open Beta, both Phase 1 and Phase 2. Truth to be told, I am very disappointed. I expected this map to actually be better than what I've seen with Iberian Offensive. Balancing hasn't been fixed, nothing has been fixed, just added new content and some new modes have been enabled, and that is it. Hope you enjoyed this coverage of Battlefield 6 Beta, everyone. Stay tuned, because I'm going to do content also on Battlefield Labs. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to throw a thumbs up, and if you didn't, there's a dislike button nearby. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can see more content from me, and also overall receive notifications about when I upload stuff on Gaming Zone. Thanks for tuning in, see you in the Gaming Zone.